Well, greetings, fellow interlopers. The wait is over and the new update is here. Welcome to No Man's Sky version 4.0 Waypoint. As we all know, initial updates are a little rough around the edges and will always have their fair share of bugs to work out. This particular update is one of the most dramatic and divisive that I've ever been a part of. To put it simply, there is no sitting on the fence on this one. The community has shared their feelings, ranging from cautious optimism on one end to, well, there are quite a few changes to this game, ranging from minute to massive, but let's just focus on what I would call the top 5. Generally speaking, these are in no particular order, but I am saving number 1 for the most substantial change to No Man's Sky in quite some time. Number 5. There's been a nice design overhaul for many of the elements, large and small, throughout the game. I love the icon refresh and the unique look given to many elements that previously had a somewhat generic look to them. Besides the icons, you'll also notice some really nice changes to teleporter animation and space station animations, just to name a couple. Number 4. This is honestly one of my favorite additions, and that's the ability to name our saves. That's right, clearly Sean has been watching Whiskey Barrel Gaming, so I can't thank him and the team enough. As someone who currently has a handful of saves, all serving different purposes, it's a fantastic quality of life feature that I've been waiting for quite some time. Number 3. Can't make it to a trade terminal? No problem. The trade terminal will now come to you. Introducing the Trade Rocket. Yeah, you can now call this in and offload anything you want to be immediately sold. All you need to do is unlock it by visiting Celine, the exosuit specialist up in the anomaly. From here, just access this through your quick menu and voila, you have a fun and easy way to sell items whenever and wherever you feel like it. I will say, however, at the time of this recording, it's a little buggy. It doesn't recognize all of the items in your inventory, but as with anything else with a brand new update, I expect this to get corrected pretty quickly, so fear not. Number 2 is the game mode changes. Permadeath mode is now a thing of the past, and it's been replaced with a single survival mode. This mode, as well as other modes, are now highly customizable to fit your playstyle. This addition will mean little to newer players, but the more experienced traveler will have fun experimenting with the more granular aspects of the game. Alright, you guys have been waiting for it, right? Number 1. Have you noticed how positive this video has been so far? Maybe at this point you're confused at why everybody's hating on this update. I mean, at this point, what's not to love, right? As most of you have guessed, I have saved the most controversial change to this game for number 1, and that's the changes to inventory. When I say inventories, I'm meaning all inventories. Exosuit, exocraft, freighter, ship, the whole shebang. So let's break it down into components. First off, there is no more horizontal navigation to these menus. Everything is on one screen with navigation running north and south as if you were on a web page. There are only 2 sections now with our tech on top and everything else below in the cargo area. All of your tech upgrades will now be limited to only the tech area. So your exosuit, ship, and freighter upgrades will not install anywhere in your cargo section. And yes, you are still limited to 3 purchased upgrades to a specific system, like your jetpack or your favorite ship weapons system. If you're having a hard time wrapping your head around this, just imagine our legacy setup, which was divided into 3 areas, right? We had the general area, our tech, and then cargo. Now just delete the general and stack the tech on top of cargo in the same menu, and you essentially have the new inventory configuration. Where the frustration and disappointment of the player base comes in is the fact that we're limited to 3 upgrades now, rather than the 6 that many of us were accustomed to. We were used to 3 in our main as well as 3 in our tech, making us pretty much invincible once you get into the S-Class upgrades. But I'm thinking that perhaps Hello Games felt that such invincibility equated to a rather stale and dull gaming experience in what was supposed to be situations of harsh environments and unforgiving wildlife. But that's a larger discussion for another time. Since many of us have been maxed out with the 6 mods, it appears that the top 3 of each system were left installed, and the rest were stored down below in our cargo area. It's not to say that everything we would have necessarily installed made the jump, though. For instance, I found items like my personal refiner, economy scanner, cargo scan deflector, and many others had to be stored down below and installed at a later date as more tech slots were opened up. Mods can also be stored and installed at will. So no more deleting a mod to make room for something else. You can simply just store it and then install it later if you so wish, while preserving any of the stats that it had. This does lead me to the next point about the inventory changes and the good news, bad news surrounding it. The bad news is, yes, we've lost the ability to have 6 upgrades per system. And we've immediately lost the space in our tech inventory to store all of the mods we even want to have. Not only that, in order to add inventory to our respective areas, we'll need to buy upgrades again. This means frequent visits to the exosuit vendor on the space stations, as well as the exosuit upgrade station on the Anomaly when we're visiting new systems. The good-ish news is we'll eventually have more inventory than we know what to do with in pretty much all areas of the game. Tech areas will be capable of having 60 inventory slots, while our cargo will have a massive 120 slots. As far as ships go, these will also enjoy the max inventory of 100 slots, while haulers will have a considerable upgrade at 120 slot capacity. Keep in mind that is for an S-class hauler. Exocrafts aren't left out in the cold either. You'll be pleasantly surprised when you take a look at your inventory and any of the exocrafts you've unlocked. You'll see that they've gotten a significant boost in this area as well. Lastly, our storage areas that we've installed at our bases or freighters have now grown from the previous max of 20 to a whopping 50. Keep in mind, there's a lot of changes that didn't make this list, so let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the changes, as well as what some of your favorite adjustments have been. I know most of us are pissed at losing the ability to have 6 upgrades, and we have to grind again to upgrade our inventories. Oh, trust me, I wasn't happy either. But over time, as I've played this update, I've come to realize that such drastic changes sometimes set the stage for larger improvements in game dynamics for the future. Things that are impossible to know right now, but looking back, we would fully understand. I'm not sure what your plans are, but I, for one, plan to stick around to see what's around the corner. With that, I'm going to close it out. This is Taylor with Whiskey Barrel Gaming. Have an S-Class day, everybody.